So this is the second video for the roof plan, and we're going to tackle these last two sections. Let me go grab some yellow. Now for this section, we have a very similar situation that we did here in the purple section. We already have a roof that basically an extension of the green roof. We don't need to go the opposite direction. What we need to do is continue on with these lines so they're parallel. So we cut this in half. Alright, let me find a better color than yellow. Let's go orange. So we cut this in half this way. So what does that mean? That means that again we have a peak on the perpendicular elevations. And there's no sense in making it smaller or any different angle. So what we do is we share the angle that's already there from the green line. We share that, and then at some point we just come down so it reaches this part right here. So we come down, or you can even say we start from this point and go up, mimicking this green angle until it hits the green line. Since these two planes will be the same, the two planes here will be the same. There's no difference, there's no change in depth, so this line would be gone. How would that look over here? Well, this roof would just be shorter. It's continuation, it's parallel, so it's just a rectangle again, so it would be shorter. Now this back section, I'm going to delete this green line because it's just going to get in our way. And this is going to be very similar to this blue section. We're going to go the opposite direction, so we're going to go perpendicular to the back elevation. Let's do this in a deep blue. So I'm going to divide this in half, and I'm going to bring the peak all the way back to the ridge line. And then I'm going to go create what's called valleys to corner to corner. That's where the rainwater meets in these two angled faces and runs out. So again, I have a peak. It's going to be upside down here. So I have a peak. I'm going to have on my right side elevation the top ridge of the roof running the same height as the green ridge. And then I'm just going to bring that down, so a little rectangle, to cover up this little extra part over here and over here. So some key things that you'll want to apply. There's some worksheets that I want you to do, and then I want you to apply these skills to your drawings. Let's just go in red as we point things out here. Sometimes you may not get a roof peak that runs all the way back to the red line, or to the green line, excuse me. Sometimes it may end shorter. For example, I'll just draw over this one a little bit. Let's say this blue one didn't need to go as far back, and he did something like this effect. Whoa. Then my roof, my red line, would start lower. It would start lower. Since this peak, this red peak, does not run all the way back to the green peak, it would run lower. Same thing over here. It wouldn't be as tall. It would run lower. So some of you may have that situation where there's no need to go all the way back. And usually that's determined by the angle of the valley. So I'm going to undo a couple things here. Normally that is determined, I'll redo the blue, by the angle of the valley. So we try to keep these as close to 45 degrees as possible. So from the point here up to the ridge line, or to where it meets here, should be roughly 45 degrees. Same with this light blue one. That's pretty good. It's 45 degrees. So if you do draw it at 45 degrees and it doesn't go back to your main point, it's going to be lower. It's going to be lower. If you draw it at 45 degrees and it's past your green line, it's a problem then. It's too high. Your front peak is too high. Maybe your initial orientation of what rectangle you chose was the wrong orientation. And those are things that I can work with and help you with on your roof plan. But these concepts, making the peaks and the valleys, are starting with the main rectangle, cutting that in half long ways, making these perpendicular peaks that come off to cover these areas, understanding how to make these side roofs where you don't need to change direction, so therefore it'll just look like a rectangle, it'll just be lower. And then when you build off of roofs, if you have like a step situation, the purple one is building off of the blue one. So I'd like you to be able to try to do the 3 worksheets posted, easy, medium, and hard. So there's roof plans. Print those out, orientate them to landscape, and then print them, and then see what you can do. Try to figure out those.